Our next guest is an award-winning entrepreneur. Former Winnipegger Ilana Ben-Ari is back in the city to speak to teachers and business leaders about the future of work and learning. And she joins us now. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Ilana, you are a keynote speaker at the upcoming Disrupted conference. Tell us what exactly it is that you're talking about.
So I'm actually a toy designer. So I designed a toy that teaches empathy, originally in university, and now it's being used by over 1,000 schools, but 100 offices.
Amazing. And so your emphasis really is on the importance of building empathy, even starting young in schools.
Absolutely, yeah. So where it kind of started was the idea that empathy is just something that naturally we should be doing more of. But the more that I got into it, I realized empathy is actually considered now one of the #1 job skills. And while it's really important, teaching it is a whole other thing. Yes. So empathy in action is really challenging. And what we found is that we like to say toys are the new textbooks. Yes. So that's the way that we teach skills like empathy.
Incredible. Now, we have your toy here. It's called the Empathy Toy. Tell us about it. How did you create this?
It's an abstract puzzle. So if you and I were playing, you would have this set of abstract puzzle pieces. Mm-hmm. They're actually identical in every way, except for these pieces, except for color. And so if you and I were playing, you would have this set. You would then have to describe that to me so I can recreate it with these puzzle pieces. The challenge is we're both blindfolded. And so I originally designed it for the visually impaired community, but it ended up winning a few design awards. And
That's
next
incredible.
thing I knew, I just said, you know, I think toys belong in schools, and I think toys belong in boardrooms.
So right now, your Empathy Toy is actually being implemented in a number of schools as well as businesses. Talk about how corporations are using the Empathy Toy.
So we have anywhere from banks that are using it to talk about this. We have a company actually in Winnipeg, Protegra, that's using it not just for team building and collaboration, but to talk about empathy and software development. Oh. We're in about 3 different MBA programs, so it really runs across the board, the importance of empathy and the work we do.
What is the feedback that you've been getting from businesses?
I think because the game can very quickly in 15 minutes bring out huge insights into how you personally deal with patience and frustration. It's an amazing way to learn about yourself, but learn about your coworkers so that you can get into those deeper conversations really quickly.
Oh, wow, I can imagine. Being blindfolded, not even being able to see what you're dealing with, that's incredible.
Yeah. It's a heavy topic, but the second you put on blindfolds, everyone's laughing, and then you're actually, it's a testament to just the value of play and toys that you can get really deep very, very quickly. Yeah.
Wow, now there is a school in Winnipeg also who has used this as a real-life case.
Yeah, so St. John's High School in Winnipeg has been using our toy for a number of years, and there's an incredible story where they took the toys and developed a leadership program where they had a cohort of students that became the teachers. They taught with the toys, and what they found was over the course of time of using the toys with their peers and with their classmates and with their teachers, that they actually had a reduction in conflict-based office referrals by 85%. And we were lucky enough to get an honor from the mayor of Winnipeg, so Mayor Brian Bowman, which means a lot to me because I think at the time the school didn't know I was actually originally from Winnipeg or even from the North End. So there's a lot of bonding going on, but it's a testament to what teachers will do once these toys are in their hands. And we're finding now the same thing with HR departments and talent and learning departments, where the second they get the toys in their hands, they immediately want to start using it with their leadership teams.
That's amazing. So what now from here?
So I'm really excited to share the stories of the Empathy Toy over the last few years, but we're working on our next toy, which is a toy that teaches failure, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, it's the long-term vision is really that we need an entire toy curriculum. If we're going to be teaching creativity and innovation and social and emotional skills, we can't do that with textbooks.
Well, when you first started out designing this toy, was that the goal to teach through toys, or was that something that you just sort of discovered along the way?
Yeah, it's really interesting. The design process starts with empathy, so I didn't go into it having any sort of solution. I went into it saying, okay, what is a real significant challenge or problem? Where it originally started was I discovered there's a huge social and emotional gap between the visually impaired community and the sighted community, especially with young children. But while I was testing it in schools during the day, I was testing it in my studio at night with sighted adults. and I realized the toy was actually inclusive as opposed to exclusive. And that's where I got the idea that, you know, this can be really an amazing tool, far beyond just this very small conversation, but it can be part of a much larger conversation on what are we teaching and why. And I think that's why I'm so excited to go to Disrupted, because while we're talking about automation and AI, the number one job skills are actually emotional intelligence and creativity.
Wow. Ilana, thank you so much. This was so eye-opening, incredible. I would love to try this out sometime. I feel like it would bring out a lot of laughs.
5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
Ilana, thank you.